Well, here it is, the fastest, nastiest, snarliest thing Jaguar makes. It's the 2012 Jag XKR S. Let's go take a very speedy drive and check the tech. Now, spotting an XKR S is easy. One, it's the best looking Jaguar in over a decade. I'm normally not a big fan of taking cars designed for grown-ups and sticking body kits on them, but somehow this one works. If you miss all of that, just come back here and notice the carbon fiber wing. First thing you got to get past is the weird sort of schizophrenia inside this cabin. It's not entirely technical like a brawny track car, nor is it luxurious like a Jaguar should be. It's a weird hodgepodge, and God, I hate two-tone seats, especially when they're faux racing seats. That's just a weird mixed metaphor. Okay, let's go to the main event. This head unit is all stock here, and I'm just about ready to declare it the worst interface in any car north of $30,000. A few examples. It's got needless animation. Why do things fly in and out? That adds nothing except delay to the experience. Secondly, speaking of delay, if you go and turn, let's say, the volume knob over here, that'll adjust the volume, and then a day later, this goofy animation shows up on top of what you're already doing. And generally speaking, they don't use enough real estate. Too much is wasted on kind of letterbox bars here and there and those menus flying in and out. Your audio sources are AM, FM, no HD radio, satellite radio, or CD slot here. Bluetooth hands-free calling is standard. Bluetooth streaming is not available. That's kind of a key leave-out. Whatever you're listening to comes out of a one choice only 525-watt Bowers & Wilkins audio system. This is the drive selector that they use on Jags these days. It's this rotating knob. Here's a button here for their competitive or dynamic mode, so you can get yourself in trouble and kill yourself.
The dynamic mode does the usual stuff. It sharpens throttle response, raises shift points, backs off stability control a whole bunch, and really lets that blown engine speak to the street more clearly.
Herein beats the heart of a Predator. This is the 5-liter supercharged direct injected V8 that pushes this thing at crazy numbers of horsepower and torque. 550 horse, 502 foot-pounds of torque, gets this fully 2-ton coupe up to 60 in about 4.2 seconds while delivering 1522 mpg. Just good enough to avoid a gas guzzler tax.
This Jag's AJ133 motor gets its extra power from a revised exhaust system and attendant fuel mapping changes, along with the use of Eaton's latest twin vortex supercharger. It's the same one used in the Corvette ZR1 and Cadillac CTS-V, both of which left us stuck to the seat back.
Now, all the tackiness of this cabin and hatefulness of that head unit fades away very quickly in just a few steps. Push the start button, turn that knob to S for sport mode, hit the dynamic driving mode right there, and just for kicks, let's take off the traction control, shall we? All right, like curry on a Friday night and strawberry blondes, overwhelming power seems to be a very British thing when they do a high-performance car. It's so much power, you don't even think about summoning it. It's just sort of always there. It's an interesting comparison to the 2012 Carrera S we have in right now, which has tremendous power and does 0 to 60 in about the same time, but the power comes on in a more requested way, whereas here it never fades away. That car's got a 3.8-liter naturally aspirated engine. This one's got a 5-liter blown motor. Both cars get to 60 in about 4 seconds. And they both cost around the same in very rough numbers. So what's the big difference? Weight. This Jag's got around 700 pounds more on the hoof than the little Porsche. However, this Jag is eminently livable in its own way. First of all, it's got an automatic transmission, 6-speed as I mentioned, compared to a lot of cars in this class have a 7-speed DCT, for example. Both are really good in high performance. The DCT is better on the track because I know you go there a lot. But this 6-speed automatic, when it's done right like this, is a better everyday transmission to live with. It's happier around town. It's happier when you're driving to work and poking along or just doing more normal driving, and doesn't make any weird clunks or bonks when it's down around low speed. DCTs are still kind of rough in that way. And I think it's a huge testimony to the engineering on this motor, as well as what Eaton's done on this new generation TVS blower, and that there is so immediate a power delivery of what appears to be the fat spot of the torque curve all the time. It all goes to that whole idea of effortless, overwhelming power. That's the signature you get on this car. Okay, pricing the Jag XKR S is real easy. Affording one is not. This is a $132,000 car with precious few options, at least in terms of tech. You can replace this engine cover with one made of carbon fiber for $2,000 and be a real tool, or you can spend $4,000 to get what they call the Bright Kit, which puts back all the chrome they took off to make it look like this.